Oh yeah, do an intro.
Yeah, you kind of gotta do that.
I'm used to you doing it when we record gaming videos. Well, actually, I think we do podcasts when we do gaming videos now, don't we?
Yeah,
Okay.
remember when I used to make reviews?
Remember when I
Remember
made?
when I used to make good content?
I don't want to go. I wouldn't go that far, Josh. Uh, Remember when I did a review?
Yeah.
Uh,
You remember when we used to actually post gaming videos?
hey, I still do that. Bloodborne Let's Play that you said wouldn't happen.
You mean the Let's Play that physically can't occur?
Yeah, it's like
Like, even though it's public now, it's not happening.
3 episodes out. Uh,
We can't acknowledge it, Soul. That's the
I
thing.
just did. Uh,
I know, but I don't know what you're talking about.
right.
It just doesn't exist.
Welcome to Beneath the Mask, the podcast where Josh gives me bullshit and I react to it.
Yes, but this time we have a spooky episode.
This is the
Ooh!
October episode. He says in
Yeah,
quotation marks.
so in the words of a much better YouTuber than myself, turn off those lights, light a candle, grab some snacks, cuddle up to your favorite blankie, and let us dive in to these stories.
I thought you were gonna say, like, let's just jump into it.
No, no, because I'm doing a thing that's like I'm trying to mimic bedtime stories. Who
Ah,
is a YouTuber that I watch that covers like spooky content,
ah.
and he has a very interesting like way of doing it because for each thing he presents, he like draws out the picture himself,
Oh,
or he
okay.
has someone else do it, and it looks really just artistic.
Hmm. What's the...
However, we just look really autistic.
hey, I spent a good hour on the thumbnail slash video thing. What do I call them? They're not only thumbnails because I use them for the video too. Well,
You mean the picture?
yeah, I was just gonna say, I was curious if there was like an official name. I guess
Oh
art.
no, I just call it the picture because we haven't decided on what to call them
I,
yet.
I just call it. I guess artwork channel.
And also, what are you talking about our artwork? This is clearly our physical bodies as we are having a conversation
Ah,
back and
yes.
forth in
Uh
this weird campfire that we're at.
oh, you just decided what it was. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be in a camp. We're obviously at a campfire dressed in our Halloween costumes, and it's early.
I'm a
I've also
vampire. I'm a vampire. What are you?
uh I am a wrestler. I
You're...
am Macho Man Randy Savage.
oh, come on. I always choose a monster. Come on.
Fine. I am uh fuck. I am Siren Head.
What?
And you know how you're gonna draw this, right?
No, no, I have no
No,
fucking
you see, it's
idea.
gonna be me in my normal Halloween gear,
Which,
except on top of my head, there's gonna be like a actual siren, like on Siren Head. But other than that, I'm just gonna be in my standard outfit for Halloween in October, which
I
is
don't.
just my regular outfit, but with a black jacket.
Can you choose like something normal? Like I'm a vampire for fuck's sake.
Uh, fine. I will be garlic bread. Gotta protect
I'm gonna
myself from
slap you.
you. Okay,
Give me the first story, Josh.
okay. We can decide what I am later. Okay, so first of the three stories we're gonna do before picking up with our personal stories, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do the back
Oh wait, should
rooms.
we give our views on Ghost first?
Yeah, that would probably be best. So I will allow you.
Okay, so Josh is a scaredy two shoes, and he wanted to have a Ouija board blessed. Uh, Me on the other hand, I don't think ghosts exist, and that about sums it up.
Okay, So, allow me to explain myself
Uh
and
huh.
carry on. You see, I think ghosts exist. I just
Right.
don't think they're anywhere near as common as people tend to make them out to be.
Mm-hmm.
I, and also, the reason I wanted to get a Ouija board blessed is I am of the variety that if you contact a ghost, demon, or something from the dead in any variety,
Uh huh.
they can follow you home unless you have a blessing on something.
It seems counterproductive to get a Ouija board blessed. Just
I'm
saying.
sorry, I don't want a spirit following me home
Why
again.
not?
Because it's happened before and I will elaborate on it later.
Cool.
Okay, so our first story
Hmm.
is the back room.
Is, is that a ghost story? Is it
No, but it's a supernatural story, and
close
this
enough?
episode is going to be called Beneath the Mask Supernatural Stories.
Is it? Is it gonna be called that though?
I mean, that's what the doc is called, and
Uh,
doc is what matters.
is it? Because I don't think
We're
I've ever.
docking.
Shut up. I don't think I've ever named the episode what you titled the document.
I mean, we never have, but we'll think of something
Well,
after
I'll think
this.
of something, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably just be Beneath the Mask Supernatural with like a semicolon in there somewhere. Beneath the Mask semicolon Supernatural.
Semicolons are tight.
Semicolons are tight. Okay, so anyway, Soul, are you familiar with the we are in a simulation theory? Or
Yes.
the Matrix theory?
Yes.
Well, basically, what the backrooms supposedly are is it is possible to somehow dip out of this reality. And instead of suddenly going to like another reality quite similar to ours but different in a way, you would be transported to essentially a random room that monsters inhabit. And what this is it's basically a confusing maze that looks like a hotel room from a horror movie.
With the
And
piston
you are stuck
walls.
there in what?
With the piston walls.
Yes, with the piss-stained walls, the carpet that is like an off shade of yellow, and of
Mm-hmm.
course those lights that constantly make that weird buzzing sound.
Oh, I fucking hate that. Every time I
I
go in
know.
Share Factory, it fucking scares the shit out of me when it does that.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, the only way to get out of the back rooms is to either number one, find an exit, or number two, think of the back rooms as your home.
Okay.
However, when you are brought there,
If you think it's at home, does it
nothing.
set your spawn point? And it's like, can't sleep, monsters are nearby?
I mean, you apparently can sleep because, according to the legend of the backrooms and people that have been back there, there
In
are
quotation
like,
marks.
yeah, I even did the air quotes. So, what people do to sleep is they literally just crawl out like a blanket inside of the carpet, and it's just a hardwood floor.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and there are apparently pictures from the backrooms, which I assume are going to be shown in the campfire here.
We put it in the
Because that's how
campfire.
campfires. Yeah, because that's how fire works.
You know, I could just make it the moon.
No, man. Gotta make it the fire.
Okay.
Because I spiked your drink earlier. So now you're drinking something.
Blood.
Yeah, I spiked it with garlic.
You see, actually, we
Yeah, it
vampires
turns out.
love garlic, and that's just a myth that we started so people could self-marinate themselves.
You see, garlic is kind of like weed to vampires. Most people think, oh, it's repulsive to vampires, but no, it's actually more like a hallucinogen similar to LSD. Know your research, my guys.
Right.
Anyway, back to backrooms. Uh, after the monsters patrol there is no way to stop them, and
What's
the
the
only
monster?
way to...
What's the monster like?
No one knows. We just know there's something there,
Ah,
and there's apparently pictures of it, but people have never elaborated on what it is.
dope.
It's back there. But they will kill you at the first sign of peril, and there are supposedly 3 known levels of the back room. There's the Most people believe there's only one, but some people believe there are 3 to even 100 layers of the backrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And it's essential. So basically, what the backrooms are is the Matrix failed to load and just sent you here until it can think of something.
So do you have like a timer, like a loading symbol at the bottom of your vision?
No, you just get dropped there with no ceremony. Like nothing happens. You just suddenly like close your eyes and appear there,
Okay, but
like
like,
with a blink.
uh, why?
Because the Matrix failed to load.
I know, yeah, but that implies that once it's loading, it's just gonna send you back to where you was.
No, it will send you to a random area once it figures out what to do with you because humans are
I
not
mean,
supposed to be back there. Therefore, the Matrix has to think of something and somewhere to put you to make it seem
that
less.
seems like free travel.
Oh no, it's not like falling asleep in a car. You see, that is actually fast travel.
Man, no, I'm just saying, like, like how sometimes in GTA when you die, you'll just spawn somewhere fucking random.
Yeah.
It's just like that, but and that could give you a shortcut. I'm like, oh, I'm in Moscow now. How about that?
Yeah, but there's also a chance that you could die back there and be
Nah,
permanently dead.
nah,
That is the theory.
nah.
But yeah, I have no idea what the other 2 layers of the backrooms were supposed to be, but they progressively get like more conventionally creepier.
Hmm.
However, I think probably the scariest one is the first level, where it's just a crappy looking like hotel corridor and hallway room that's just empty.
Is there like blood on the walls or anything?
No, it's just a regular room with no rooms, but it's a maze.
And there are monsters that no one looks.
There are
Uh,
monsters that no one had that they have apparently taken pictures of and can kill you
right,
very easily,
right,
but it's rare to even find them.
right.
Your thoughts on this spooky
Uh,
story?
some vampire must have gotten to that girl. Like, uh, nah, just
Yes, that is what happened, Brendan Urie.
who, who?
That is what happened, Brendan Urie.
I don't get
You
it.
know, because in that song it's like, I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
Oh yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah,
I'm
except I
like
threatened
Brandon
you
Urie.
with garlic.
That sounds familiar. It's Panic at the Disco. Uh, the Matrix theory in itself is kind of eh, eh. I mean, really, like, what points does the Matrix or simulation theory have to stand on?
I mean, it actually has a fair point that I can sort of see why people believe.
Like,
Okay, so basically, say say eventually humans create a perfectly functioning artificial intelligence, right?
cool, yeah.
That artificial intelligence, when it first wakes up, unless it's directly told it's an artificial intelligence, isn't going to think it's an artificial intelligence until it figures out that it is. It's going to assume it's human
Mm-hmm.
if it is brought up in the manner of it's human.
Okay.
And say humans were able to make an AI and then put it in a simulation, it's going to assume that this simulation is its home, it's where it's always existed,
Mm-hmm.
so naturally it wouldn't question it. The theory goes that we ourselves are all artificial intelligence made to be on the same level of your average human, but inside of the Matrix
Hmm.
that other humans have made at some point. I can see how people would buy into it, but I personally don't. It's a little
Right.
too out there for me. There's a little too much of a stretch. We can't even program video game AI properly. What makes you think we could program an actual human to believe the simulation that they are in?
Sort of reminds me of Roku's, or not Roku, Rocco's Basilisk. Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but it reminds me of the Assassin's Creed game, like what I originally thought Assassin's Creed was.
Okay.
Which I was thinking, okay, so
Is this
you're
like
playing as a guy who is inside of a simulation of an ancient assassin,
okay?
instead of, oh, you're just experiencing your ancestors' memories.
No, simulation makes perfect sense. That explains how some people can be so fucking stupid.
I mean, it does, but humans can do that on their own, I personally
Nah,
think.
nah, nah.
It's like, there's stupid, then there's that level of stupid.
Wear your mask.
Yes, wear your masks when in public. You can take them off while you're listening to this podcast, unless you're in public.
Who listens? No one's listening to this in public.
No one's going to admit that they listen to this.
Okay, that's also fair.
Even the hosts won't admit
I'll
that they
do
have
it.
listened to the podcast.
Hey, Sil Zenos, host of the Beneath the Mask podcast. Doesn't seem like the host, like I'm the host, but I am. I'll say that.
He
And then the
doesn't watch
panties
his
start
own
dripping.
stuff.
The panties start dripping after that.
No. You see, sexual conquest is temporary. The drip is forever.
Drip.
The drip.
Uh, the It seems probably a little weird for the Beneath the Mask podcast to say wear your mask.
But seriously, wear it in public.
Yeah.
Just please. This virus is killing millions, if not trillions, of people around the world. And you guys aren't helping yourself. I know that the mask doesn't physically do anything, but it keeps the virus from spreading from you to another person. So wear your masks. Anyway, backing off that rant,
Now keep
what do you
going.
think of the back rooms?
It's stupid. I don't even see what's scary about it.
What's scary is that you're all alone in the back rooms with no human contact, and you have no idea how long you're going to be back there.
Fucking, I'll make my own little thing, you know. Cut it, probably knock down some walls, make my own little shack in there.
He's going to call it the Love Shack.
The back shack.
That's where it's at.
And, okay, thing is, how many people believe in the back rooms?
I'd say most people don't, unless they believe the simulation theory, in which case I believe it's a small minority.
So, that's probably sub 1,000 people, maybe.
I think 1,000 people at minimum.
Oh, okay. Bigger than... Okay.
I think that's an okay way to push it, because quite a lot of people believe we're in a simulation.
Really?
Yes, but the thing is, where quite a lot of people believe the simulation theory, it's more than you would expect, but less than a majority, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And most of the people who believe we're in a simulation don't really want to do anything about it, because there's probably a reason we're in here, if we're being honest.
Humans are assholes.
And that's how some people justify it. What
was it? Okay, I'm just saying, if there were so many people who... Okay, how many people claim to seen the back rooms?
It is unknown, but...
Give me a rough estimate.
I cannot... I'd say less than 50 people.
Okay. So, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a lot.
I mean, it's not.
I was going to say,
still...
if it was a couple thousand, then they'd be I feel like at some point somebody would have ran into someone. But,
Yeah, at a couple thousand, someone's bound to have ran into someone, but the whole thing with the back rooms is you're back there alone, and you have no idea how long you're going to be there, and that is why it is creepy.
Well, I'd make a shack, and this is the spawn point, and it gives everyone some supplies and a place to hide from the monster that I affectionately refer to as Terry. And yeah.
Okay, so you're basically going SCP IKEA being the back rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not too far off, except there's not people inside of the IKEA. There's instead monsters that will eat you.
That's not what. Shit, what's that series called? Containment. You know, animate.
SCP Containment Breach.
No, there's
I saw
a.
one animated video where it's like, oh yeah, there are monsters inside of this IKEA that want to kill us all, and we have no way of figuring out how to get out of the IKEA, but we have a small colony back here.
You talking about the animated series by the animated series, the Immortal guy.
I have no idea what it's called, but he was basically documenting what one person who
Okay,
was
no,
inside
something
of this
else then.
IKEA.
There's an
Okay,
animated series
anyway.
about the SCP, and there's an IKEA episode.
To be clear,
Hmm.
the IKEA thing I could believe because I have been inside of an IKEA. You can't
Nothing says
escape.
cursed like an IKEA.
No, it's not that it's cursed. It's that once you go in, you won't find your way out. And then when an employee finds you and you ask, how do you get out of here? They start laughing almost psychotically and hand you a vest and they say, in those famous fabled words, welcome to the team, partner. And they print you off a name tag and you can never escape. You can never leave. There is no hope. You become part of the crew, part of the IKEA, part of the crew, part of the IKEA.
I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad to me.
Have you ever worked in retail?
No,
Or
yeah,
have
they
you ever
like
had a job?
welcome to the.
Oh!
Well, yeah, they like immediately fire me and I'm excited out the IKEA. You don't have a high school diploma.
They,
Get out.
they
Get.
just show you the way outside of the IKEA.
Yeah, that's how you get out. You just got to not have a high school diploma.
Or just be like a really crappy employee.
I mean, you
Even
don't.
then, it's
You
going to
don't.
take a
Okay,
while.
you don't want me in retail. Come on.
I mean, people will hire you. You don't have to have a high school diploma to work in retail.
I know that was a joke,
You have to,
but
yeah.
uh, no, I'm saying you don't want me retail. I don't think you want me on any job really.
I mean, I could think of a few jobs that you would be good at.
Assassination?
No, you would crack eventually.
Would I? Would I?
I mean, probably, hopefully, you would start hearing the voices sometime soon, but I doubt it.
Nope. What's the job
The
I'm good
voices
at?
just won't
Monster
stop.
hunting?
I mean, I don't know. I think you would need a friend specifically named Jay to go to Point Pleasant with you and start your journey. Or maybe you would be
I,
like Ed and, working for the
I
organization that Flynn and Jay are trying to stop. Who knows?
I need a butter that I need a butter that dresses exactly like me.
No, he doesn't dress exactly like you. He's got to go missing when
Are
you
you
guys are
Sam
like
or am
young
I Dean?
kids.
We gotta. Who's Sam and who's Dean in this?
I have never watched Supernatural.
You watched the animated series.
Yes, but I remember precisely nothing about it.
Personality wise, I'm more like Dean, but Dean's the guy who drives.
And
Usually.
I have a car and I drive.
Yeah, but personality wise, I'm more like Dean. And Dean's the older one.
Okay, so next up we got the Bermuda Triangle. Wait, no, not yet. So next up, I'm gonna have a buttery smooth segue from the back rooms to something called the Shadow People.
How's it? It's not smooth at all, but alright, hit me with
No,
it.
no, it is. It's smoother than going directly to the Bermuda Triangle because,
How so?
well, you see, there are monsters in the back rooms that no one seems to know what they are or who they are.
I mean, shadow people.
And then there's the
monsters.
Shadow People.
That's not. Also, it's not a segue at all if you just say, now we're talking about this. It's not a segue at all.
It's buttery smooth, okay?
I don't like butter.
Buttery smooth.
Okay.
It's like you stepped on a banana peel.
Wouldn't that be banana-y smooth?
No, that's just slippery when wet.
I could go for a banana
Funnily
right now.
enough, there is a Bon Jovi album called Slippery When Wet.
Yeah.
No duh, Bon Jovi. No duh, Bon Jovi. Of course it's slippery when it's wet.
Tell me,
Anyway,
tell me about shadow people.
okay, so Soul, let me set the stage for you here.
Uh huh.
It's late one night. You've just seen some spooky videos and you're feeling slightly jittery.
Okay.
You proceed to walk into a dark room when all of a sudden, a shadow seems ever
How,
so slightly off.
how am I gonna see a shadow in a dark room? It needs to be light
No, there's a little bit of moonlight beaming into the room, thus showing you a shadow.
and
And it seems
plausible. I don't
slight.
have my windows. I have my windows covered.
Anyway, the shadow seems ever so slightly off. And
Okay.
what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you blink your eyes to try to adjust and make sure the shadow's right. You open your eyes and it's gone.
Cool. How's this? Like, what do you mean by wrong? Like, off?
So basically, like the shadows seem. So basically, like in sunset, you know how my shadow should appear, right?
Elongated, kind in the shape of you.
Yeah, in the vague shape of me, but it should be protruding out from behind me, right?
I mean, I don't know, Trevor, where the sun is.
It's basically like a shadow is in the wrong location, is what it is.
So light shining in front of you, but the shadow's in front of you anyway.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
However, the shadow people are essentially they're just slightly off shadows most of the time. However, there are certain stories where someone has seen a particular shadow people that
Mm-hmm.
people have dubbed the name of the Hat Man, etc.
My dad saw one once.
Yeah. And they seem to and no one knows exactly what they are, but they
Shadow
have
people.
some kind of malice intent
Mm,
towards people.
I mean, it's
Let's
like,
be honest, this is just people being jittery and seeing shadows.
yeah. We're being high and seeing shadows.
No, when you're high, you have a certain. I think it's more LSD that would be like the freaky shadow people coming to murder you. Like that would be LSD.
I think that would depend
Weed
on
is
your
just
mind.
like you stare at something and really lazily like.
High can mean a lot of different drugs, Josh.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
but I normally hear high and I associate it with weed.
okay.
However,
Weirdo.
weed is like taking a drugged form of molasses. Taking LSD is essentially a hallucinogenic cocaine.
I
That is how
guess.
I've heard they
But,
are. I don't know myself.
okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair to say neither of us really believe in shadow people, but it's like it's just you're a little too spooked.
Yeah. I have a small story.
Are you going to present it in Soul's personal ghost stories or
I
not?
mean, nah, I could probably just, it's just really short. They would,
Okay,
and since it goes to shout people, I'll just put it here.
already elaborate.
So I don't have a lot of personal ghost stories because I don't believe in ghosts, but I've known people who do. So around fucking, let's say 1992, right? Uh,
Okay, so this is BGA before Josh, or
yeah.
is this BS before Soul?
Let's go BS because that's what it
Yes,
is.
before Soul.
No, well, before soul would be before the, like, that's not possible because I'm a
Before the
transcendent.
birth of the universe, really?
Yeah, I'm a transcendent being. Uh,
So is it just BJ before Josh?
yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So my dad was a okay. He was high. I'm just gonna say it. He probably was. You know, it was 1992. Uh, and he was at his girlfriend's house at the time, and he told me he saw like not my mom, but he told me he saw like a shadow, a hand of a shadow, just like come out of like the closet door and like hover over his girlfriend at the time.
Hmm.
And then when he like reached at the hand, it like retracted back. At least that's what he says.
I mean, that was probably just the shadow of his hand.
I don't.
Really?
I mean, yeah,
Because if you
probably.
position your hand in a very particular way, like, you can sort of manipulate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final ghost stories before we move on to our personal ones
Mm-hmm.
is not a ghost story at all.
It's Bermuda. Yeah, like what is with this, Josh? I said ghost stories, and you got two things
No,
that aren't
no, you
ghost
said
stories.
supernatural. I just
No,
happened. I
no,
thought you were gonna have something.
you know I fucking don't. This is the what? Was this the fourth episode?
This is the fourth episode.
You should
But
know
I
by
figured
now I don't do shit.
I know, but I figured you would have done something since you were supposed to be hosting this time. But no,
Also, none of these are
push
ghosts.
it all on me, the
None of
guy
these
who
are
wants to
ghosts.
do a cold case episode.
But you could do that after.
I'm sorry, I just want to do a cold case episode. It's not that hard.
And we split the supernat. We're supposed to split the supernatural up into cryptids and ghosts.
Yeah, well, I was originally going to talk about the Skinwalker Ranch Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. However, I've done some more research. Turns out, all that
Aliens.
happened...
Aliens.
No, it doesn't go into aliens. It's basically just more of the same from Part 1.
Excuse me, sir.
Minus
We're
the
looking for
actual cryptid
aliens.
No, basically they... Okay, allow me to elaborate. Basically,
Uh-huh.
they assembled a team that were literal scientists that made the cut in their field, and they were all skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
And why they weren't like, oh yes, there is definitely a monster somewhere on this ranch, they're like, I don't know. I think you can get a view of some weird military activity from here.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. That's all that happened, is just more of the same. Anyway, on to the Bermuda Triangle, because I don't think you can have a supernatural... I mean, this one is a bit weird because
Is
a
it?
lot of things disappear in the Bermuda Triangle, and no one knows exactly why.
This is a no-fly zone.
I mean, basically.
You are exiting map band. I don't know how to talk.
Max bandwidth.
No, I was gonna say you're exiting map boundaries.
Please turn around. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, like, what most people think the Bermuda Triangle actually is it's a place where because of the magnetic pull of the area, it'll mess with your compass, and that's why so many people either get lost or crash, is it messes with most of the controls.
Well, you could just, keep going straight.
I know, but with the magnetic stuff, it can actually drag your plane downward. And it is easy to get turned around.
Why would it be magnetic?
I believe it's specifically where it's located on the Earth.
I mean, you would think like the fucking North or South Pole would be the most magnetic.
Yeah, but they're supposed to meet in the area of the Bermuda Triangle, I think. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I just buy in more to the theory of it's a lot of magnets.
If they meet
worst, there's a secret military base there.
Oh, no, the place they meet being the center of the Earth. And if you said the Bermuda Triangle is in the center, the Earth is spherical, despite what some people think. And if...
No, it isn't. The Earth is clearly dinosaur-shaped. Let's be honest. You can't lie. The Earth is obviously dinosaur-shaped, as foretold in the smash hit of, I believe, the 80s, probably the 70s. As in the smash hit, I walked the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
No, that's not how that goes.
That is exactly how that goes. Look it up.
Okay, but I'm saying, if you go with the theory that magnetic pull from Bermuda Triangle, because it's in the middle of the, North and South poles, that means that there's somewhere else on Earth that would have the same magnetic pull. If, right? Because the Earth's a sphere.
Yes. I mean, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if there is, we don't know where. So
Ah.
it's probably more akin to there being a military base somewhere out there that is kind of just takes out everything.
North Korea?
I don't even think that's anywhere close to Bermuda.
Is it? I don't know what the fuck Bermuda is.
One second, let me look this up.
You didn't look this up beforehand?
Bermuda.
No, you made this topic and you didn't look it up beforehand.
Bermuda is a British island territory in the North Atlantic Ocean known.
Okay, so it's in the North Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, it's where the Queen keeps her secret of immortality.
Okay, so it is quite literally a little. Oh no, wait. It's just a tad bit off the coast of the United States.
Ah. To a okay.
I mean, yeah, it is around what I would assume the center of the, like the middle of the map of Earth, but I don't know. Pretty sure it's just a weird military base that people want hidden for some reason. I can buy into that more than most of the other theories.
That's
that get
actually where I live.
Yes, because we don't live in the same town, even though I almost weekly pick you up to run errands with me.
No, I just teleport.
Okay, so now that we have discussed these topics, are you ready to get into our personal ghoulish and
You
ghost
have
stories?
no, like, of all the fucking ghost stories that exist, you don't have fucking any of them.
No, because I imagined you were gonna look up some.
No, you didn't. Stop fucking lying.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. You can't expect me to do. You can't expect me
I
to do shit.
expected you to actually do some, okay? But no, you can't because you just don't wanna. It's like this podcast isn't important to you.
Hey, I'm the host.
How dare you say that to my baby?
I'm curious who does more work, because you do the topics, and I do the art, edit it.
I mean, on this episode in particular, you're probably going to be doing most of the work. The thing is, I do most of the research that we do, I think, because I normally have more topics than you do.
Yeah. I don't think I put in any topics in this one.
You didn't. You just put what your personal ghost stories were. So, as you have 6 and I only have the 5,
I'm
gonna let you go first.
You can't see this document, and neither can I, because I'm not looking at it. But I know I put stone statue on it, and I have no idea what past me was talking about.
Okay, so minus the 2. Okay, I will go first then.
Okay, well, now you can give me mine, but tell me what the prompt was.
Why can't you just pull up the doc on your phone?
I don't know what my phone is.
Okay, so I will tell you your first one after I tell the first one of mine.
Okay.
That way I'm not telling 2 in a row at one point.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so my first one I have is the suited man or man in the hat. So
The suited man in the hat?
Yes.
Cat in the hat?
I always call him the hatted man. No, but this kind of sparked my love for fedoras in a weird roundabout sense. Okay, so anyway, when I was like 13, I'm kind of convinced my house was haunted. Just a little bit. Just a wee tad
I've been there.
bit.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not anymore. But there's a reason why.
It's like anymore.
No, there's a reason why that I will get into here.
I scared it off.
2 stories.
I scared it off.
No, it's because we got rid of a chair. And if you're wondering, that doesn't make any sense. It will in time.
No, well.
okay, so basically the suited man requires a tad bit of background.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather Charlie typically wore a suit and hat, and they were a gray suit and they were gray hats. They were
Mm-hmm.
very well tailored.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, when I was 13, I would walk around my house really late at night because I constantly woke up in the middle of the night and went downstairs to get me a glass of water or a
Mm-hmm.
cup of water.
Well, you could just put a bottle of water by your bedside like a normal person, but all right.
That's what I started doing after a while, but I hadn't figured that out yet because I was a 13-year-old idiot.
Right.
So I would walk downstairs to my kitchen, and when the lights are off, my living room can look rather creepy. And we had
That's
a
true.
vacuum that basically stood at the end of the stairwell, right?
Yes. Your shitty stairs.
Yes. Well, a few nights in a row, like 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
I would walk out of my room, turn on the light, and begin to walk downstairs. Where instead, when the vacuum finally came to my field of view, it wasn't a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
It was a man in a trench coat wearing some form of a hat.
Right.
That scared me up to my room, and this happened 3 nights in a row, all at the same time.
Okay.
And that should be where the story ends, right?
I guess.
Well, it's not. You see, one day I decided to tell my grandmother about this because my grandmother was a really hardcore Christian, my Goosey
Mm-hmm.
was. And I was telling her about this, and I described the hat the guy was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Then my Goosey, with a
Goosey?
horrified look on her...
Goosey? Goosey?
Yeah, we called her Goosey. No,
Goosey.
She was... Yeah, it's because she had a bunch of geese around her house.
Okay.
Like, she just had a bunch of, like, glass geese. Because someone in our family started calling her Goosey at random, and it just stuck.
So your grandmother had an obsession with geese?
No, she bought all of them because one of her grandkids started calling her Goosey because you had Nana, and I believe Molly was the one that started calling her Goosey. But
Why?
we needed something different from Nana, and Grandmother
Grandma?
just did not cut it.
I call
Grandma just did not cut it
I
for
call
us.
I call my grandma Mama. Is that like a southern thing only?
I believe that's a southern thing only, but keep in mind, I've always lived in Tennessee from my knowledge, unless I had a past life.
You did.
I really don't think I did.
You did.
I think I would remember something like that.
You'd be surprised.
Anyway, so my grandmother, with this horrified expression,
Mm-hmm.
then went into her closet, pulled out a bag, pulled out the hat, and put it on the table, where I then fell out of my seat and just went into fetal position towards the wall because it was the exact hat the guy was wearing.
Like a bitch.
Look, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
My grandfather Charlie had been dead for years.
Okay.
Dead for years at this point. I believe he was my grandmother. Might have been a cousin. But the thing is, he had been dead for years. I had never once met the man or heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my grandmother this. She proceeds to tell me it's Charlie, to which I then start asking around to my extended family, who then say, yeah, that's pretty accurate to what he used to wear.
Hmm.
And ever so naturally, kind of made me flip my lid just a tad bit.
Like a bitch.
Hey, I'm sorry, I was a 13-year-old coward. I'm not afraid to admit this. I wasn't really into horror movies at the time. Now, I think it would still probably, freak me out just a tad, but nowhere near as much.
Right.
It'd be more like, this is really weird.
Yo, Charlie, what's poppin'?
Oh no. We had a ghost like that for a while that I will get to in the next story I tell. But your thoughts?
You were just seeing the vacuum, and you had, I don't know.
But how did the hat get, exact? I had never seen it before.
Was there no photos of your grandfather?
No, I had never seen him. The thing is, he's not my grandfather, Charlie. He's my Goosey's grandfather.
I know, but if you were at a house, you might have There were no photos of him at all.
None that I had seen,
I feel
because
like
I
you.
didn't really visit my extended family much. The closest thing I got to my extended family was my grandmother or my nana.
I'm pretty sure you might have just subconsciously seen a picture and then projected it.
I doubt it, but it's a possibility, I guess.
I'm more likely to say that than, oh, you saw the spirit. Hmm.
Okay, so now tell your story. The first one you got is Creepy Doll.
Okay. So, a lot of them, I don't have any ghost stories because, ghosts are afraid of me, obviously. Um,
Clearly.
so all my ghost, like I said before, all my ghost stories come from somewhere else. This was, again, from my father. So, I don't know when this would be. He was a kid, so let's say fucking 1980. Let's say 1980. Um, so, my grandma,
It seems like you're undershooting it because my dad was a kid in the 80s.
yeah,
Continue.
my dad was born in 72.
Continue.
Okay, so, my grandmother and my grandfather would come home, and she, they were at a flea market, and my grandma had bought this doll that had, and she put it on the mantle. It had like a little cross on it, you know, a little chain cross on its neck, and
As you have.
yeah, and it wasn't like part of the doll. It was like metal, and someone had like put that on there. Bad sign, first off.
Yeah, that's just really bad sign.
So my dad proceeded to have nightmares for a week straight about this doll coming to life and killing him. Um, then one night, he wakes up to like a crash, and he goes into the living room, and the doll is like off of the mantle, and the chain is like fucking broke. And yeah, then he basically begged them to get rid of it, and they did.
Did they yeet the doll?
I don't know.
You gotta yeet your cursed dolls, my guy. That's the only way to fully get rid of them. You just gotta yeet them.
Yeetus, deletus.
Okay, so the next one I have,
Oh, you're
I've simply
not
titled.
gonna give me feedback. It's a little bit different because I didn't see these myself. So,
I mean, it's a tad bit different. So, as far as the doll thing,
uh-huh.
there really wasn't much creepy about that. That's just your dad having nightmares because it kind of scarred him a little.
Yeah, but the doll, like, he find the doll with the like, it was like a strong chain too.
Okay, you didn't mention that the chain
Well,
was
it was
strong.
metal.
So,
It wasn't like dainty. It was like not okay. You know my cross necklace,
yeah.
slightly smaller than that.
Okay,
Not something
so
that's gonna break falling off.
so while I have no reasonable excuses for how the chain might have broken, how I don't think the doll was alive.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
think it's
just
more
saying.
your dad was probably really afraid of it, and he probably pulled the chain off himself and just said, "Oh, I heard a crash and it was on the floor. Get rid of it, please. It's evil."
It's evil.
That's kind of what I
Evil.
think.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Except he's just Mermaid Man, and he's like, "It's evil."
Evil. Yeah.
Okay, so the next one I have,
Mm-hmm.
I've simply labeled as Kathy.
Kathy
Yes. You see, my father had an Aunt Catherine. We all
Ca-
called her Aunt Kathy.
or why Kathy?
Yes, Kathy.
Why?
That was
Okay.
her name.
That that's not a normal shortening of Catherine.
No, her name was Catherine, and we all just call her Kathy.
Kathy, not Kathy.
Yeah,
Okay.
but okay. So basically,
Was she
when my
one of the ghouls from Catherine?
no,
Ah.
unless Troy Baker Coon was Afro Troy Baker Coon was really into old women,
I mean,
really old, very religious, stern
spoiler,
women.
Catherine with a Q is a boy and an alien.
Oh, okay, but here's my question:
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Why is it spelled with a Q?
Catherine.
How does that even work?
Catherine.
Quackwin?
Quacklin?
Well, at least the quacking.
Mr. Quacklin.
Yeah, it's clearly going to be in Catherine Yarmady's edition,
Wait.
where he's just a pirate for no explicable reason.
Catherine with an X.
Release the quacking. Quackwin.
Catherine.
Okay, so
Yep.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
my Aunt Kathy passed away, God rest her soul,
Mm-hmm.
and when she passed away from Alzheimer's, a little bit before that she was living in our house, and
Mm-hmm.
as you know, my dearest mother was not the nicest of persons with the way she treats everyone. She should be
Who's
brought out on the
mad?
street and shot, but who am I to say?
Who's
Who am I to
mad?
say?
Who's...
Anyway, when she passed away, for several years
mm-hmm.
after, my family began to experience some really weird things.
Cool.
Both my sisters and my mother all felt like they were being watched. My
Mm.
Nana, every time she came up here, felt really eerie. And as far as what me and my brother experienced, doors would constantly wildly swing open. At one point, there was one I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it left a dent in the wall with how fast it swung open.
Cool.
And we would also randomly hear footsteps that we then blamed on Kathy.
Mm.
And it became a running meme for me and my brother that's like, hey, Kathy, could you please stop it? We're trying to relax here. Just for a moment, please.
Yeah.
And it got to like that point, so your thoughts?
Who's mad?
But do you think we were actually being haunted by the ghost of my aunt?
I don't know. What was your relationship like? The whole family.
Whilst we were distant, we always treated her with respect, except for my mother. I think she was the meanest one out of all of us. Oh yeah, she also, like, when Kathy was alive, despised our cat and would kick her. Like, at one point, she literally yeeted her across the room. It was... I want to say it was hilarious, but it was actually animal abuse.
I mean, I sort of did something similar once, but yeah.
But yeah. By the way, as far as our cat that we had at the time,
Uh-huh.
she would constantly meow at thin air.
Yeah.
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 Like, as though something were watching her. And Susie was very shy. She would never meow.
Well, she obviously did.
Yeah, but unless it was at thin air, and even then it was rare. So your thoughts?
Who's mad?
Define hose mad.
I don't know.
Do you think this was a genuine haunting for a time?
No.
So what do you think it was?
I don't fucking know. I wasn't there.
Okay, so as far as everyone feeling as though they're being watched, whilst I can attest I would occasionally feel watched, I don't believe it was as common as my sisters made it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. And as far as the door swinging opens, I have no clue why that happened. They would be locked and then swing open. So, I don't know. They were our room doors, for God's sake.
Bitch can swing doors open but not answer me on my Ouija board.
I mean, apparently. So, the next one you have. Care Bear.
Oh, Care Bear.
Ah, yes. The most spooky of all children's toys.
Okay,
the Care Bear.
Okay, the reason I titled them so to remind me which story I'm talking about without actually like writing down what it's about. Um,
So kind of like how I have done.
I don't know. Okay. As always, ghosts are afraid of me. So this was around. Let me. I don't know why I'm giving you the date, but I'd say 1998. Uh, it's somewhere around that. So no, actually, it'd probably be before. I'd say 1990. I'd say. Okay, so
Okay, so this is still BJ before Josh.
I mean, 1998 would have been too, but okay. 1990. My grandfather.
Everything till 1999 would have been BJ, but
My grandfather was a carpenter. But he did other things. Like he did roofs, painted, he did a lot of things. I don't remember the exact reason they were there, but basically there were like fucking piles of stuffed animals, and my grandfather had to shove one, like, get rid of them. So the fastest way to get rid of them was to shove them in furnaces. Uh, and when I say piles, I mean fucking piles of stuffed animals. Like you. So my dad and my
did you have a Furby?
I don't know.
Specifically one that was low on batteries. Because those things act
So
demonic.
they've been like shoveling for a while, shoving, and after they shovel just one scoop, they start hearing it burns, help, and my dad and my grandpa look at each other and get the fuck out of there, and that's what happened, I guess.
Okay, so
I didn't say my stories are long.
I mean, yeah, that's not long, but I'ma say no to this one.
Okay.
I don't think the thing said, "Oh no, it burns, help." I think it was just a distorted audio of some toy that could speak.
I mean, that'd probably be the most likely situation.
Yeah.
Dude.
So,
I thought I'm supposed to be the skeptic, Josh.
like I said, I believe in ghosts. I just don't think they're as common as people like to believe.
I mean, it makes sense, like, that ghost would be the most common.
Okay, so I'm gonna save the best for last with mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do the cherry yet. Instead, I'm going to skip to the laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a weird one. I forgot what I had for footsteps, but I believe that was the story of how I constantly think there's some kind of an animal in my house that we can never pin down, of a raccoon in my attic, but we have seen no signs of a raccoon being in there.
You have like 4 dogs.
And how there might be a cat under our house, but we can't find one.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so next up we got the laughing. And okay, so you know how I had 2 twin sisters born before me that died at birth.
Mm-hmm.
So one year on their birthday, him and I were just chillaxing
Is
at
it
the house.
technically a birthday?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like,
The thing is, they were alive when they came out.
okay.
They only
I was just
survived.
like thinking, like, if they don't, if
It wasn't like they came out dead. They were alive for.
yeah, but okay,
I believe they were alive for either a few minutes or one was alive for a few hours before passing away.
okay.
But there were complications, needless to say. Anyway, 1 year, and I believe this was like the first year after the divorce, I am wanting to say.
Mm-hmm.
On their birthday, Im and I were just chilling out, and we went into Dad's room to watch some TV because his room had cable, and the living room wasn't working. And we also decided to be nosy and start reading books, right?
As you do.
Yes, books around our father's room because we were like, let's laugh at some stuff Dad has. So, needless to say, we were reading a few of these books, which I forget the names of, and we start reading them out loud in a joking way. And then we hear something that you both Emma and I have attested to being real, and just the voice of these laughs stick with us today. But you could faintly hear, well, it wasn't faint, it was out loud. You could hear two little girls giggling.
Okay.
To which me and Emma promptly said, "Oh my god," threw up the books, and ran out the room. We then went on a walk and came back.
I was like,
Now, later that night,
okay.
it gets better, don't worry. So, Dad and Callie are home, and we're all chilling in their room, talking. And we mention what happened earlier that day, and we mention how it freaked us out. And my father had a little, like, empty chocolate box that he filled with jewelry and stuff on his dresser drawer that is in the middle of the room. And it goes flying across the room. No one even touched it. Just whoosh. And spilled onto the floor. That is the end of the story.
Dope. I was like, why wouldn't you meet something supernatural, you fucking run away? That's really rude. They even laughed at your shitty jokes.
Look, I'm just going to say this now. I'm afraid of death. Okay, dying is a bit of an inconvenience that scares me.
Well, yeah. What's the ghost gonna do? It's dead.
Give me nightmares, and frankly, those keep me up longer than actual death.
Bitch. Okay. I don't think that'd be the ghost of your sisters, considering, you know, they died maybe, they didn't, I don't know. An hour?
I believe it.
An hour?
Within, like, hours of their birth, let's just say.
Yeah, I don't
think it was my sister's, but I think it was something in an actual ghost. That is somehow related to my family, because in my next story, I will explain how we got rid of all the supernatural activity.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Boy, is that one gonna be a doozy.
What, your dad didn't say anything about the fucking jewelry box flying? And he's just like, that's
No,
odd.
he was like, what the hell?
No, it's
Followed
not,
by all of us saying, what just happened?
Well, a jewelry box. I don't know. Maybe my reactions are weird, but I'd just be like, cool.
No, I just jumped out of my seat for that one. That wasn't a running out of the room thing.
Okay.
I was just,
Nah.
Hey, it is I, Skeletor!
It is I, the great Papyrus.
Okay, so the next one you have here is labeled Man with Hook. Yarg.
This is one of the few ones that I've actually seen. Surprise.
You know, what we're supposed to have for our personal stories.
Yeah, well, you know ghosts are afraid of me. So I was 6, around 2005 to 2006. And I was sitting in the living room on the... You wouldn't know this. You probably can't visualize this, and unless you see my living room, because it's kind of weird. But in the hallway, you can see the hallway from the living room through this like thing. And I turn back and I look and I see an old man, like gray beard, fucking red flannel, and has a hook for a hand.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah.
Either you saw Freddy Krueger or you saw skinny, frightening Santa Claus.
Like a mix.
Looks like Christmas came early.
Like and he was just gone. That was it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was just the imagination of a 6-year-old, but alright.
I mean, that is kind of terrifying.
How's that terrifying?
Well, a 6-year-old seeing what basically equates to Freddy Krueger and Santa having a really rough origin and the resulting child of that. I
So
don't know. That seems like it would scare a 6-year-old.
I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. There is a slightly more to the story.
Continue.
I don't know where the hook from the hand came from, but years later, I had went to my aunt's house, and her husband had passed away. I don't remember when, and he looked very similar to the old man I saw.
Spooky.
And I had never met him before, but he kind of just looks like a generic old man. So
Spooky.
it's not.
Okay, so for my last one, I've saved the best for last.
Mm-hmm.
The chair.
The chair.
Okay,
Brought
so
to you by the lady who wrote Red Gloves and White Cat.
and of course filmed by the same guy who filmed The Bird. The Birds.
The boy,
The
bird.
boy.
Boy is the word.
Okay, so anyway, for years, my family had a green chair in our living room.
Green chair? Who the fuck
Yes.
has a green chair?
It was a very disgusting looking green chair. It looked like someone sneezed and it just became a
Your
chair.
sneeze is green? What?
Some people do, except it wasn't like a light green, it was like a dark
I mean,
dark
boogers are
green.
green, but like sneeze is like clear.
No, boogers are brown. What are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about? You have health issues if your boogers are brown.
I mean, same could be said for Mr. Green over here.
Okay.
Anyway, aside from this interesting topic,
Tell
I
us who has
absolutely
it. Wait,
want
in the
to
comments. In the comments, tell us who has a disease.
Okay, so anyway,
Yeah.
okay, let me contain myself.
Y'all gonna make
So-
me act up.
We had a story around this chair that
Right.
one of our extended family was sitting in the chair when they died, and it was the chair that they always sat in, but one Christmas Eve they passed away in the chair.
Cool.
Our Aunt Catherine inherited the chair, right?
Cool.
And when she passed away, we inherited the chair. And we
Cool.
had it for 4 or 5 years. And that's when all this supernatural stuff started happening on a more regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who sat in the chair always felt unnerved for some reason, and they weren't sure why.
I wish I could have sat in it.
So one day, my brother and I got a genius idea.
Uh-huh.
We'll take the chair outside to the lawn.
All right.
And so we did that, and we didn't see anything for several days
Uh-huh.
until our father told us to bring it back in. Well, when we brought it back in, the weird stuff started happening. So a few days later, we decided to take it off to tow strings because we convinced our father to do it, to allow us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how we got rid of all our supernatural problems. We just got rid of a chair.
What was the chair like? Was it well made, or
Yes.
did it have like markings on it?
No.
Blood of a virgin?
It was in good condition for a chair. And from what I recall, it was relatively comfy. But we got rid of it. And then soon after that, we decided to just get a whole new bedroom suite instead of a bunch of mismatched.
A green chair.
Mismatched
Why does that
furniture.
sound familiar?
I believe I've told you this story once before.
I don't remember it being green. No, but something else. I'm like, I've never seen a green chair.
But yeah, long story short, we got rid of the chair, the supernatural stuff stopped.
Man.
I believe it was the source of any of our supernatural problems that were
Yes.
real.
The chair.
No, it was the fact that someone died in the chair and they weren't happy that we possessed it because it wasn't meant to be in our house.
Fucking chair.
So the person who is
Fucking
tied to
chair.
the chair, it is
Fuck.
believed by some that ghosts can be tied to certain objects,
And he
and
chose
if
a
they are in a
fucking
house
chair.
where they don't belong, they tend to haunt people. And this person was apparently attached to this chair because they died in it.
My dad killed himself in the room I sleep in, so I'm like,
I maybe he wanted you to have that room. He was tired of you sleeping on the couch.
yeah, looking out for me.
Making the ultimate sacrifice for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never just saying like, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's just blame it on the chair and move on to your final topic.
I have another topic.
Yeah. Window foretelling.
Oh, okay. So this is a story my grandma says a lot. I don't.
Okay, so we've gone from the stories that you experienced to something completely different.
No, we went from my dad, and my grandpa, me.
To you having your one experience
Yeah.
with a guy with a hook.
Yeah.
Hork. To your grandmother.
Yeah, well, I didn't put them in order. Fuck off.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say this right here, right now.
Uh-huh.
Go Graham Xenos. You got this. Hit that lag switch.
Okay. Ignoring that.
Coming
Okay.
soon with context.
So, basically, my grandma, when she was a kid, her mom was cooking dinner, and she looked out the window and saw the neighbor, I forget her name, but she told me, but I forgot her name, kind of tapping on the window, and she told her mom, my great grandmother, that their neighbor was at the window, and she goes and look, no one's there, and then she starts scolding my grandma for lying, but then she says she really saw him. And my great grandma says that if you really saw her, something bad will happen. Later that night, that neighbor that my grandma had saw had been shot by her husband.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. So that's all my stories are short.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this one the Jesh seal of approval.
Uh-huh.
I can see this kind of happening.
Can
though, I mean, I believe it is possible.
You don't believe me whenever I predict stuff about you, even though I keep doing it.
Yes, but the thing is, you're not a supernatural being.
Neither is my
grandma.
My grandmother is.
No, your grandmother saw a supernatural being. I can.
How did she see a supernatural being? She just saw her neighbor.
Because the neighbor was tapping on the window, and later that night, the neighbor is dead.
Yeah,
or at least found dead. Do they have any idea when the neighbor was shot? Was it before or after the window?
After.
Okay, so they heard the gunshot afterwards.
The gunshot was hours after.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of... It pokes a bit of holes in my theory, but I do think it is possible for ghosts to travel back a few
I don't think she
before
died.
they die.
I don't think she died. She just got shot.
Okay, if she didn't die, then I'm taking away that Jesh seal of approval. But if she did, from that shot, I'm giving it the partial Jesh thinks this might have actually happened. Just maybe.
Maybe I inherited my prediction abilities from my grandma.
No, you see, you're just a being that exists outside of space-time, so I can't believe anything you predict, because how do I know if you're telling the truth or just screwing with me?
Well, you could just say that for everything I say.
Exactly. So,
this is a short...
that is the End of our list.
This is a short podcast, unless you have anything else.
I mean, it's over an hour, so
Yeah, it is.
we're at least closer to the time period that we're.
At least it's not 40
trying
minutes
to
like the first episode.
Yeah, and at least half of it isn't cut off.
Yeah. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, but before we go, Sol and I would like to wish you a happy Halloween. Make sure to stay safe and wear your masks.
Check candy for razor blades.
No, don't check candy for razor blades.
Do it. You should.
Okay, so guess what happened to me the other day? Before we go, I gotta tell you this.
All right, tell me.
So, one of my nephews was out trick-or-treating, and all of a sudden, someone hands him a Snickers, right? Well, he opens it in the car, and guess what's inside of his Snickers when he breaks it in half, checking for the razor blades? They find a Glock millimeter 2077 that I don't know if that is a real gun. I'm pretty sure it's not.
A Glock millimeter 27.
A Glock millimeter 27.
Magnum.
It was inside of the Snickers, fully loaded. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, what? Is my nephew gonna break out of prison my nephew that I just don't have? Is he gonna break out of a non-existent prison?
Yeah, it's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah, with the file.
No, wait. Tonight is Halloween. Wink, wink.
He won't get this out by Halloween.
Hey, that's what you said about the last one.
Yeah, but I promised you a pizza party for that one.
That's a good point. I need proper motivation.
If you don't do it, I'm gonna force you to see Lupin the First with me.
Well, you can't force me to do anything.
I will kidnap you in your sleep.
You can try.
Oh wait, no. Even though I'm working out me muscles, I don't think I could lift you out of your house while you're still asleep.
You're not Jack TV yet.
Yeah, I'm not Muscle Bro I'm not Muscle Bro Macho or Jacked TV.
You can't handle swole Xenos. Yeah.
So
no, wait. What do you have against checking for razor blades?
Okay, I'm not against people checking up for razor blades. I believe they should do that, especially depending on the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't think people are going to put razor blades in the candy and then proceed to wrap it in brand new wrapping paper to fool kids into biting into a razor blade.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, rather, I don't think people are going to have the ability of purchasing 2 Snickers bars, opening one of the packages, inserting a razor blade into the Snickers perfectly to where nothing in the Snickers
it's not
weirder.
They don't do it perfectly. They just hope that you're dumb kids and you just don't throw it in your mouth.
No, but I don't think they're going to get one, put the razor blade in there, and then wrap it in the Snickers wrapping paper perfectly.
No, it's always it's okay.
It's always going to be slightly off, so...
Yeah, but then
make
again...
sure your candy is sealed and not slightly off. If it's slightly off, don't eat it.
You're getting, because you can wrap certain things like Tootsie Pops, you know?
I mean, yeah, Tootsie Pops I could see.
I'm just saying...
the amount of effort you would have to go into to put razor blades inside of a Tootsie Pop.
Like I said, they don't fucking... Well, not Tootsie Pop, Tootsie Rolls.
Okay, Tootsie Rolls. That one I can buy.
I'm just saying, I used to go out trick-or-treating a lot, and I would find them. And okay, you know my neighborhood? I didn't go here. That's get gun in your face if you try to trick-or-treat where I live. I went to, a nice neighborhood, and I still fucking got them.
Okay, with me, I never once got them, and I went trick-or-treating all around town. Except for the projects. I actually never went trick-or-treating around there, which is
Yeah,
weird.
you don't. You don't go to the projects. What the fuck?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it's weird that people in our town say we have the projects. No, we don't, because where people say we have them, yes, you have a co-op that looks like it was condemned years ago, and most of the people around the neighborhood actually aren't that bad of people. Most of them are nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's apparently like near the rec center that we have.
I think I know where places in my own town are.
Okay, you know where Domino's is, right?
Ah, yeah.
It's basically down the hill from that.
Ah, okay.
Personally, that's what people call the projects.
Why do they call it the
don't buy it.
projects? Never understood that.
Okay, basically, it is meant to be a term for how. I believe where the term originates from is like people will build a neighborhood expecting, oh yeah, this is going to be where a lot of people start raising families, right?
I guess.
Well, after time, people of a lower income will then move into those houses.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, when someone of a lower income moves in, depending on how low their income is, a lot of the richer people will then move out, leaving room for even lower income people to move in. You kind of see where I'm going with this.
No, I just don't understand why it's called the projects.
It's meant to be a project to attract rich people to the town, and it typically does not work.
I'm saying the name doesn't make a lot of, like, projects. That implies that it's still...
Okay, Google, where does the name The Projects come from?
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it. Okay, so Google is not helping us. I have spiked his coffee with garlic.
I don't know about...
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's cat's blood. But I don't know. Anything else to talk about?
Let's see. We've already done the mask warning. Check your candy, you dummies.
Oh, that thing
Don't
might die.
chew on glass.
That's a good one. Is it? I feel like I have more ghost stories. I just can't fucking remember them.
Who knows? But I know what's gonna happen next time on our beautiful podcast.
The guest episode with Blue Boy Rated.
No.
Yeah, no.
Instead, we're gonna do cold cases. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Is it coming out on Thanksgiving?
No, this episode's coming out on Halloween. The next episode, we're gonna try to get that one out by Thanksgiving, hopefully. That's the goal.
What do you mean, Pilgrim?
If you don't think I'm going to have him draw both of us as pilgrims in our fancy hats, you were probably right, because I can't force this man to do anything.
That's true. If you think I won't draw myself as a pilgrim and Josh as a turkey, well...
We'll just have to wait and see and find out.
I'll probably draw us as, like, officers, you know,
I mean,
detectives.
one of us could be an Indian with one of us.
I'm sure we both have Native American in us, but that's kind of
I mean, I have more German in me, so it was more likely my family that I went over here from Asia were pilgrims.
Yeah, I'm more German and Irish than I am Native American.
That would explain why we're both so pale.
I'm way paler than you are.
The pale bloods are out tonight.
Okay, talk about Bloodborne for a second. Y'all know I have a Let's Play.
Look forward to our Bloodborne stream that we will totally do, and I promise.
No.
We're gonna do it, like, on Halloween.
No.
You're right, Watch Dogs Legion is coming out on the 29th, and frankly, you are not gonna be able to pull me away from that, hopefully, if all goes as planned.
See, here's the thing. You can't force me, but I can force you.
How are you gonna force me?
Well, that'd let you prepare. You don't know what kind of bullshit I'm gonna pull.
Oh no. Oh no. But what about the Cold Cases podcast that we're totally gonna do? I swear it's gonna be the next one. It's gonna be incredible.
Why are you saying that like you're being sarcastic?
Because I'm pretty sure by now in November we're probably going to think of something else.
I mean, you're the one that makes the topics.
I mean, yeah, I make the topics and do most of the research, but cold cases might.
I mean, okay, so we've been
and
rambling.
we're gonna stick to the unsolved angle that we got here.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
this is okay. So this is Beneath the Mask Supernatural, and the next one's Beneath the Mask True Crime. Is that
No,
it?
Beneath the Mask, cold cases, unsolved. Because we're going to do an episode where we talk about cold cases that have probably been solved. That was what I meant, not like Ryan and Shane.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was just going to be a
BuzzFeed
reference.
Unsolved.
No, we could just go like, because this episode would be Beneath the Mask Supernatural. The next one can be Beneath the Mask True Crime, and it's just a little reference.
What, are we also going to have sports?
No.
I mean, they do have like 2 or 3 episodes on sports. Specifically, Deflategate was one that I remember.
Okay,
I
so
remember hearing about Deflategate, but I remember not caring in the slightest.
we've been rambling for a while. Outro, Josh.
Remember, wear your mask, check your candy for razors, and we will see you all in November on our cold cases. I have been Jesh TV, aka your garlic bread of a human being here.
Yeah.
And he has been Sol Xenos, your resident vampire.
Give you that
And
suck.
we will see you in the next video. Actually, correction. I am not garlic. I am not a piece of garlic bread dressed as a... I'm not a human dressed as a piece of garlic bread. I'm Von Helsing now. Deal with it.
Nah.
I am a vampire hunter.
Nah.
I am a predator.
A sexual
Okay.
predator? No. I'll make you a
The
werewolf.
dinosaur walks out in his
You're a
underwear, his
werewolf
friends
now.
ask him,
You're a werewolf now.
No, I can't be a werewolf.
Fucking
Make
furry.
me a block of sentient bread, please.
I'll make
Anything but that.
Sure, you can be a piece of sentient bread. Why not?
Let me be sentient garlic bread. It will explain where I got the garlic from. To spike your drink and make these flames appear
wait.
as what they are.
So, wait. You spike my drink with garlic from your own body?
Yes. You all call it dandruff. I call it garlic.
There's like a
It's
fucking
just
bite
how it
taken
be
out of you.
sometimes. Yes, that should be where my head is.
Ah.
Like my head is coming out of the bite as though I'm eating myself. That's right, I'm getting high on my own fumes tonight.
Oh, and you're not a vampire, so you can't get high from garlic.
You say that now, but I really enjoy garlic bread. It's the bomb.
Yeah. We doing something? Oh yeah, we have a show, don't we?
Yeah, you're supposed to have ended this by now. That little conversation and rant of ours is going in the outtakes that will be uploaded like a day or 2 after the actual video.
I feel like I should at some point actually write like an outro.
I mean, yeah, probably, but wear your masks, kiddos. Save the video. Because if we don't, we're going to be rambling for another 10 minutes.
What's wrong with that? Okay, bye.